the rest of your life. If you choose strength, patience, and hope, you will come out of the difficulty stronger than before. That is the true meaning of positive attitude during hard times. Not fake happiness, not denial, but courage, honesty, and the decision to rise again. Reflection. Questions for you. Now I would like you to slow down for a moment. Until now, you have been listening to me. You have heard ideas, examples, and stories. But real learning happens when you start thinking for yourself. This part is very important because it is not only about understanding English, it is about understanding your own attitude. So I am going to ask you some reflection questions. These are not yes or no questions. These questions need longer answers. I want you to pause the podcast after each question and answer out loud. Yes, out loud. Speaking your thoughts will help you practice English and also organize your ideas clearly. Let us begin with the first question. How do you usually react when something goes wrong in your life? Think about a recent situation. Maybe something small like missing a bus. Maybe something bigger like failing a test or making a mistake at work. When that happened, what was your first reaction? Did you become angry? Did you blame yourself? Did you blame someone else? Or did you stay calm and look for a solution? Be honest with yourself. There is no right or wrong answer here. The goal is awareness. When you understand your usual reaction, you can start changing it. Now pause for a moment and answer this question aloud. Try to speak in full sentences. For example, you can say, "When something goes wrong, I usually feel frustrated. I sometimes complain. I do not always look for a solution immediately." Or you can say, "I try to stay calm, but sometimes I overthink." Speak slowly and clearly. This is your speaking practice. Here is the second question. Do you give up easily when things become difficult? Think about your past experiences. When you faced a challenge, did you continue trying, or did you stop quickly? Maybe in English learning, maybe in sports, maybe in personal goals. Ask yourself honestly, do I stop when it becomes uncomfortable? Or do I push myself a little more? Again, there is no judgment. This is about understanding your pattern. Pause again and answer. You can say something like, "Sometimes I give up when I feel tired. I lose motivation quickly." Or you might say, "I usually continue, but I need encouragement." The more clearly you speak about your habits, the more clearly you will see them. Now, let me ask you another important question. What situation in your life right now needs a better attitude? This is a very powerful question. Maybe there is something that makes you feel stressed. Maybe you complain about it often. Maybe you avoid it. It could be your English speaking. It could be your job. It could be a relationship. What area of your life would improve if you changed your attitude? Think carefully. If you changed your thinking about that situation, how would your behavior change? What action would you take? What small step could you start today? Speak your answer aloud. For example, you might say, "I need a better attitude toward my English speaking. I am too afraid of mistakes. I will try to speak more, even if I am not perfect." Or, "I need a better attitude at work. I complain too much. I will try to focus on solutions." Reflection questions are powerful because they make you responsible for your growth. It is easy to listen and agree. It is harder to look inside and accept your weaknesses. But this is where real change begins. When you admit, "Yes, sometimes my attitude is negative," you also give yourself the power to improve it. Let me ask one more question. When you imagine your future self, what kind of attitude does that person have? Imagine yourself 5 years from now, stronger, more confident, maybe speaking English fluently. How does that future version of you react to problems? Do they panic easily? Or do they stay calm and think clearly? Try to describe that future attitude aloud. This exercise helps you create a direction. It shows you who you want to become. As you answer these questions, remember that change does not happen in one day. But awareness is the first step. When you start noticing your reactions, you can slowly adjust them. Each time something goes wrong, you can remember this conversation and ask yourself, "What attitude am I choosing right now?" Speaking your answers aloud is also powerful for your English practice. You are not only learning vocabulary, you are expressing personal thoughts. That builds confidence. It trains your brain to think in English. Even if your sentences are not perfect, that is okay. What matters is that you speak. So take your time with these questions. Pause the podcast. Reflect deeply. Speak honestly. Your attitude shapes your life, but only if you become aware of it. And today, by answering these questions, you are already taking a step toward a stronger and more positive attitude. As we come to the end of this episode, I want you to take a slow and deep breath. We had talked about many ideas today. We spoke about what attitude means. We explored why it is powerful. We looked at real-life examples. We discussed fixed and growth mindsets. We connected everything to your English learning. And we reflected on your personal reactions. Now let us bring all of this together in one simple and powerful message. Life is not always easy. That is the truth. There will be days when things go wrong. There will be moments when you feel tired, disappointed, or confused. Sometimes you will work hard and still not get the result you want. Sometimes people will misunderstand you. Sometimes you will fail. These moments are part of being human. No one escapes them. There are many things in life that we cannot control. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control other people's opinions. We cannot control every situation that happens to us. We cannot control the past. And sometimes we cannot even control the immediate outcome of our efforts. But there is one thing that always remains in our hands. That one thing is our attitude. Your attitude is your personal power. It is the space between what happens to you and how you respond. In that space, you make a choice. You choose whether to give up or to try again. You choose whether to complain or to look for a solution. You choose whether to speak kindly to yourself or to criticize yourself. These small daily choices may seem simple, but over time they create your character, and your character shapes your future. A strong attitude does not mean you never feel sad. It does not mean you never feel afraid. It means that even when you feel these emotions, you decide not to stay stuck in them. It means you allow yourself to feel, but you also allow yourself to grow. It means you believe that every challenge carries a lesson. It means you trust that effort will bring improvement, even if progress is slow. Think about your English journey again. Maybe today your speaking is not perfect. Maybe you still make grammar mistakes. That is okay. What matters is not where you are today. What matters is your attitude toward tomorrow. If you continue practicing, if you continue believing, if you continue learning from mistakes, you will improve. Slowly, step by step. Remember this simple truth. Your attitude shapes your direction, and your direction shapes your destination. When you choose courage over fear, patience over frustration, and growth over comfort, you slowly build a stronger version of yourself. So as you finish listening to this episode, I want you to carry this sentence with you. You may not control the situation, but you always control your attitude. Say it again in your mind. Let it stay with you during difficult moments. Let it guide you when you feel discouraged. And before we close, I have a small call to action for you. Today, choose one situation in your life where you will practice a better attitude. It can be something small. Maybe your English practice, maybe your work, maybe a conversation with someone. Make a simple decision. In this situation, I will respond with strength and patience. Then act on it. If this episode helped you, please share it with a friend who is also learning English. And do not forget to continue practicing your listening and speaking with Code Your English. The more you practice, the more confident you become. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep choosing a powerful attitude. I will see you in the next episode.